Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about exposing the twin flame community in the new age trap. So before I start this video, I do want to explain to you what the new age teaches you about what a twin flame is according to them, according to this sort of trap that they are teaching. So basically what the twin flame community is a relationship between two people that you share the same soul with. Essentially, you could have lived lifetimes with this person and you are destined to be together, whether it be by a red string of fate or a just massive divine coincidence that you guys are always going to be together in this lifetime, no matter what. Even if this person is deceased or alive, you guys will always be together because there is sort of a cord that is leading you guys together in this lifetime and to the next lifetime and in the last lifetime, etc. You are sharing the same soul together with this person, and everything that you guys do is basically telepathic communication, and you guys need to come together to essentially create a duality to then merge your yin and your yang. So with that being said, that is kind of a quick description of what the twin flame community is according to the New Age trap. So with that being said, when I was in the New Age, I was severely deceived by the twin flame community. I talk a little bit about this, about what drew me into the New Age community, and you can go ahead and check that video out in the link down below in the description box. If you are interested in getting a 1-hour free testimony interview with me over Zoom or in person, you can go ahead and also click the description box of this video, and you can go ahead and book your appointment and have all the booking details right on my website at God Hears Your Thoughts. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So when I was sort of drawn into this new age twin flame community sort of practice, I was highly intrigued because at the time in my testimony, I talk about this. I met someone that kind of introduced me to that term, twin flame. And I met a person that I thought was my twin flame. And I feel like him and I's relationship on my end was almost borderline obsessive. I wanted to rush everything because I thought that we were already together in a last lifetime. And basically what they teach you is that you have karma to clear from lifetimes ago. And although I don't believe in reincarnation anymore, I did at the time, and I believed that we were together in a lifetime before and that we were going to be together in some lifetime after. So there was this sort of obsession with coming together with this guy because I really genuinely thought that we shared the same soul. I thought that us being together was going to be the answer to the love that I had been finding, which is not true. I mean, the love that I was really wanting to find and was desiring was God's love, but I just didn't know that then. So our interactions would always become very much, on my part really, was wanting to have him understand that we were meant to be together. Wanting him to understand that we needed to merge. And it sounds a little crazy, but I really thought that if we came together sexually, that we would be merging these energies together and that our yin and yang would become complete, because this is what they teach you in the twin flame community. And that was appealing to me because they say that the masculine is sort of like the dark side and the feminine is the light side, and that if the dark and the light come together, that you are going to be now in this sort of duality together, combined within your souls, and that you will feel a sort of kundalini awakening. And me thinking that, I ended up being very highly sexually active with this person because I was trying to merge something that was really just untrue. And it's not that I didn't love this person. It's not that I was, having sexual intercourse with this person just because of that. But that was one of the reasons why I was really thinking that something was going to come together with this person in sort of a divine way. One of the more deceiving natures as well of the twin flame community new age trap is they teach you that your twin flame has a karmic, and that this karmic relationship, if they are in another relationship, is holding you back. And how this can become so toxic and highly dangerous and uncomfortable is if your twin flame was with another person and you weren't with them at the time, they would refer to that person as the karmic, a karmic that's meant to trigger them, a karmic that's meant to only be with them for a short while, and that they would break up and get with you. So if your twin flame was in another relationship, they were kind of doomed already in the twin flame community. They were already doomed and destined to be doomed because your twin flame is supposed to be with you. And how this can become dangerous is the interactions that you might have with this person. My ex-boyfriend was never in a relationship that I knew of before he was with me, while he was with me, I should say, or while we were talking or anything like that. He was doing his own thing, which I'm not going to get into on this video, since there was infidelity involved. But from what I know, he was only with me in a relationship, and prior and during the relationship. And that was hard for me because every time there was this sort of infidelity thing going on, I always thought, well, this person is doing it because they're trying to connect with a karmic. They're trying to connect with someone that's trying to make us sort of split up. And instead of just seeing the reality of it, I was completely being delusional. The reality was, this person is cheating on you, and you need to just get out of that relationship. And I was being really hurt, but I justified it by thinking that the people that he was sort of dealing with were just karmic people, that they were just people that were kind of pre-planned to be in our lives and to break up our relationship. So I always thought that maybe that's why we were breaking up, and why we were getting back together, and why we were breaking up and getting back together. And I would do this constant comparison between the person that he was with and the person that I was with. And it was just very confusing, I could say, a lot of the times, because when I was with this person, talking in conversations in person, he'd be telling me a completely different thing about why he was cheating. And then I would go straight back to the community tabs inside of this twin flame community trap. And I would see, don't leave him because he just needs healing to do. They would push for you to stay with your twin flame because you need to give them another chance. And I feel like they really just perverted everything about love, and they made it just completely delusioned, and they try to lead us into a delusion state of mind. So, the third reason why I feel like it's just highly highly dangerous and that you shouldn't dabble into this or believe this sort of trap is because they would talk about telepathically communicating, and they would talk about how you and your twin flame have this sort of line of communication between your brains, that you have this line of communication between your souls, and that everything you have is sort of an unspoken connection, that you know everything about each other, and that you can essentially read their mind. And there was instances where I would almost drive myself a bit crazy because I would be sitting in my car and I would be waiting for a text message while I was watching, these twin flame readings, and I would cry and cry and cry because I was like trying to find a way to telepathically communicate, when in reality none of that was actually true. But that's just how they kind of trap you into thinking that the relationship, and that the reason why you guys complete each other's sentences is because you guys kind of have this telepathic communication. So I remember, again, vividly sitting in my car and just feeling like screaming and just being like, why isn't this person receiving my messages? I would watch videos with like these sort of frequencies that were meant to, I guess, call this person out or wake them up. And it would be like, get a message in 5 minutes. In your twin flame, if you just believe that they will text you, they will text you. And you kind of have to let that thought go before it actually worked. But that's how it became very confusing, because how can you telepathically communicate with someone and then forget that you're telepathically communicating with them, and then also forget about it? So it was just hard for me to really grasp that sort of concept. And it would get to the point where when we were hanging out, I would feel like, why isn't he sort of reading my mind about how I'm feeling? Why is he even asking me how I'm feeling? Shouldn't he already know? Shouldn't he already know that all these emotions that are inside of me that I'm trying to tell him, since he's my twin flame, shouldn't he already kind of feel that in his soul? Shouldn't he already read my mind? And I remember actually one time he said, Kat, I can't read your mind. And that made me very upset, because I thought that he could. I literally thought that he could, because be aware, I was so severely into the new age practice, sort of trap, that I really thought that these things were working. And to sort of justify their very toxic trap that they have, the twin flame community, they will then bring in false twin flames and people that are just merely soulmates, or just a mere false twin flame. And this didn't come along until people started exposing them. So then now I have the thought, well, now I'm with a false twin flame. This person was never my twin flame, and I was just going crazy. The reality is we were just two people in a relationship. There was no telepathic communication going on. There was no sharing of the souls. There was no false twin flame, I should say. It was just more two people in a relationship that didn't work out, and things were going on. And I was justifying infidelity. I was justifying, all of these things that were going on, all of these things, because I didn't want to believe that what I was practicing at the time wasn't true. I wanted it to work because I was in love with this person, because this person and I are meant to be together. And I was never obsessive to the point where I did anything bizarre or crazy with him. I was just more always thinking about him. I was always, everything I did, I slept, eat, breathe. I would just sleep, eat, breathe this person. It was like we had to be together all the time. We had to talk all the time. We would fall asleep on the phone together. And if I didn't have him for every minute of every day of my life, I just felt like I was being further and further away from my, quote unquote, twin flame. So that's the end of this video. I did want to say, if you were a part of the twin flame community, these are sort of signs to look out for. Please don't be deceived. Please don't be led astray by these sort of practices, because they're not going to work. You don't share a soul with anyone. You're not split into two. You are your own person, and that person is their own person. And it's very important that you don't fall into this toxic cycle with the people that you're with, thinking that something is going to work out, because at the end of the day, it is not going to work out if you are in this new age practice. Now, I can't say it will never work out, because, well, it will never work out, in my opinion, if you are still thinking that this person is your twin flame. If you want to heal your relationship with this person, or heal any sort of infidelity or anything that's going on, I would suggest turning to God for something like that, and for everything that has to do with relationships, and just ignore and delete and block anything that has to do with the twin flame community. Do not let them mock you. Do not let them deceive you. Do not let them lie to you, and do not let them think that any of the things that they're practicing is true. And do not let them be mean to you or comment on your videos trying to sort of make you believe, okay? So I love every single one of you, sisters and brothers of Christ. Amen, and God bless.